After school, me and a few friends decided to go to this park. It was small and quiet, so not a lot of people went there, and it was actually pretty decent. Most of my friends went after like an hour and a half because it was winter and it got dark really quickly. It turned 7 o'clock and it was pitch black, and it was just me, Reese, and Ethan left. At 7:15, Ethan decided to go, and it was just me and Reese. We were just on the swings talking about stuff like favourite YouTubers, favourite films, girls in our school, the normal stuff. As time went on, it quickly turned 7:45, and me and Reese both had to be back by 8:30. It was getting boring and boring every minute, but it was still alright, I guess. As we were on the swings, we saw a black figure going down this alleyway by the park. At first, we didn't think much of it. We couldn't make out what kind of clothes the guy was wearing or what he looked like. We could only see that he had a flashlight and that showed him with a woolly hat and some sort of face mask on. As he was getting closer, he stopped by this hill and crouched on the ground. It was then my heart dropped, as I realised it wasn't a flashlight. It was a camera, and it was taking pictures of me and Reese. Being frightened like this, me and Reese ran out the park, and we ran across the field, all the way into the bush. After being wusses for about 10 minutes, I guess, we decided to go head back out, because I had left my bag, and it had my phone in, and we couldn't call anyone because Reese's phone was dead. When we were making our way back, it was pretty scary. It was pitch black. We couldn't see anything at this point. Barely could even see the park. When we got there, my bag had been taken and it wasn't there anymore. We searched the whole park and all across the field and we couldn't find it. What happened next, though, was what terrified me the most. We decided to call the phone. When we called it, we realised the sounds were coming from behind us. And as we turned around, from the lights provided from the moon, we saw a man's face. We ran as fast as we could into the forest, to the point where I didn't even know that Reese wasn't behind me until I stopped when I thought it was safe. I hid behind the rock and grabbed the water out of my pocket and started drinking it and chucking it all over my face. I was panicking. I didn't even have my phone to call anybody. I was on my own, in the forest, with some man. It could have been a pedo, a rapist, a murderer, a kidnapper. I didn't know. And I swore to myself I would never find out. But of course I lied, and I did. I could see a torch flashing in the distance. I didn't know if it was Reese's or the man's. I didn't want to find out, so I stayed behind my rock. Then, from another direction, I could hear footsteps, getting louder and louder, going towards me. Then I was grabbed from behind and chucked into a tree. The man started beating me up senselessly round the face, punching me, and I didn't remember much after that, except from being pounded and pounded and pounded on the ground and into the tree. Then Reese came from behind with a rock and whacked him over the head. It caused his head to bleed, and then he got angry. He ran after Reese and grabbed him and started strangling him. I didn't know what to do. Should I have gone and helped, or should I have run away? In the end, I did both. I picked up a giant branch and whacked him over the head, which caused him to fall on the floor, and then I ran as fast as I could, not waiting for Reese. Then what I heard next was the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. I heard the loudest, most distressing and painful scream. I could have run back to help Reese, but I didn't. I was too scared, and I ran all the way back to my house. I don't know why I didn't tell anyone, but the next day at school I would have regretted it. Reese wasn't in school the next day. It made me feel guilty, and that I could have done something, and if something had happened to him, then it would have been my fault. I was panicking and didn't know what to do, so I decided to leave the library and go tell the principal. But on my way out, I noticed something. On one of the shelves, I could see someone's face staring at me. After looking for a long amount of time, I realised this wasn't just anyone's face. It was the man from yesterday. And he showed me something. He pulled his bag out, unzipped it, and pulled out Reese's head. I noticed after a few seconds that this wasn't just anyone. It was the man from last night. I screamed and shouted, "Help! Help!" But then a knife came at my throat.